Hello, and welcome to another episode of We Hate Skill Windows, the podcast about hating skill windows. My name is Rye.
And I'm Chris.
Boss gets longer every time. um, Also, if you're noticing, this is in fact a 3D model. I made it in VRoid, so if you're wondering, I may use this as cool model fun times. Right. ReLife Player is what we are reviewing this time. ReLife Player. Short summary wise, this main character is the alternate future state that he's in. Start. He is the was he one of the 13 pillars or whatever? Was he not? 12?
He was
I don't remember. He was. I thought he
he
was.
wasn't one of the
He
thrones.
wasn't. He was just like
He
the
was just
13th throne, something. So that strong player.
he's just a strong player, I think.
Okay,
People called
yeah.
him like the undead or something.
Yeah, he was crowned the undead, not because he was undead, but because he refused to die, essentially. He's sort
Mm.
of like Tryndamere, from League of Legends. But like all the time apparently. Uh anyway, in his future, he cannot win, basically. There's like really strong enemy that he knew died. So he dies as well, but not before his lover at the time, partner, sacrifices herself to create something called a miracle and sends him like 30 years back or something to when he was literally a kid. But I mean, did they send him back or did they, shift realities? I don't know. We're gonna assume he got sent back in time as a straight time regression. Yeah, and then the rest of the chapters are just him like becoming older. At the current point in time, I think he's 10 years old, 10 or 11, maybe 12. He's got a ways to go. But yeah, let's talk how much we liked it. Volunteers?
And he volunteers.
Not at all
Uh,
at once now.
hmm,
Okay,
what we liked about it. Okay, so
we're having trouble, aren't we?
I gravitate towards stories with like group dynamics. Um,
Ben's got a lot of riz, a lot of elementary school riz. Uh, you like how he
I
approached the people he became friends with pure in this like purely out of how much mana they had.
yeah,
He
for
stared
the
at their
it's like
mana cores and he was like, "Ah, this one seems strong. We should be best friends." That
oh,
I
that
thought
was
you
kind of
hated that.
annoying.
I thought you hated that.
Well, there was one of those, but there's like two of them where he just kind of like he had like one of them he just kind of grew to tolerate, like the girl who was
The
kind of
follower?
bossy,
Oh no, Big Minju.
and then the follower like he had like an arc where he saved him, and they started out as like rival
Bully-ish,
enemies,
rival, yeah.
bully,
And then he
and then they
became
turned into like follower
captain.
devotee. I don't know,
Yeah,
captain, boss.
it's sort of
Yeah,
wholesome.
so
Very like
I
Detective
kind of like
Conan-esque, actually. Detective Conan.
a
You know
little.
how
I've seen
Conan
like
like
4
runs around
episodes.
with like 4 kids who are actually kids, and Haibara is
Yeah.
not a kid. So it's like 2 adults running around with 4 kids. 4 or 3 kids. I think it's 3 kids who are actually kids, and then the other ones are not kids. It's a little weird. You know what? It's sort of like that, except this kid actually sort of grows up. Conan does not. Actually, no. I think he does grow. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Anything else besides the group dynamic you liked?
Mm,
Perfect.
mm.
Perfect. It looks like we really like this one, guys. So just having trouble finding out
Yeah,
what
finding
likes
the
what.
words to talk about how good it
Yeah,
was. I mean, yeah.
we're speechless. It was so good. Uh, okay, let's flip the script around. Show it. What did we not like about it?
Oh,
Still silence. Wow.
well, okay. So,
We didn't like it, but all of a sudden, I can go first. I can talk about what I did not like about it. Let's talk about power scalings. Talk about power scalings, shall
oh,
we? Main character. He is a kid. He, as a kid, manages to not only kill full-size monsters, he also manages to kill human adults. This kid, as like a 6-year-old, is more lethal than like at this point like a ICBM or something missile. This kid man is taking out like 30, 40 people in a warehouse at like age 6 by himself with like a knife. I that
yeah. And
that
all the
doesn't
adults are kind of accepting of it. They're all like,
and
it's,
all yeah, and but the people he fought like had powers too. It wasn't
yeah.
like he was fighting normal people. He was fighting hunters, players, what are they called? Um, all play players because it's real life
Yeah,
play.
they're called players, which always like screws my head. I'm like, what? They're not even like, they're not in a video game. Why are they called players? I can't tell if it's translational thing or if it's just like,
I I would imagine they
I
just
don't
wanted to
know.
avoid hunters, right? Where they were like, well, everyone's out here doing hunters. Why not do like players? It's like hunters, different. I don't
But
know.
what are they playing? Like,
Life.
I
They're
don't
playing
get it.
life. Game of life.
Oh, so we're players too, I see.
Ah, yeah. But we're not real life players. We're just life players.
Oh,
Yeah, time. Yeah, he so the power scaling I'm talking about is specifically I actually did not know which chapter this happened. At some point a blonde lady who's like mafia family's daughter that everyone calls like princess or something. Uh she gets kidnapped because I guess she was in Korea under a different name and the Don's like of a rival family who she was supposed to marry is like, hey, get her back here. Anyway, she gets kidnapped. Main character goes after her and he's like unarmed and he tries to fight a guy who is apparently just this guy's way stronger for some reason. Um then they throw around the term like tradisi or something. Uh not sure what that means. Uh it
yeah,
really
I don't
didn't
know
explain
either.
it. They really didn't explain anything. Just expected us to like understand, I guess. Uh I'm sure it's probably like a rank or something. Yeah, like, is this actually like a Tradisi Mafia term? Hyad. Nope, that's not it.
Mm,
Hold on. Mafia Mafia ranks. Right there. The boss, their boss, Siglier, Capos. And this really is just so accurate. I don't see anything about Tradisi or sure it's something. But anyway, he fights this guy. The guy destroys him. This is correct. He fought a what, like a veteran player in a kid's body, and you couldn't keep up. Correct. That makes sense. Doesn't make sense why the people were so weak earlier, but you know what? We're not questioning it. Anyway, he fights the guy again in chapters 40 to 50. And sure, yes, he had like potions from like apparently Korea's best potion maker. Sure, yeah, sure. But he manages to like apparently destroy the guy and kill him. But it's like a messy victory, and I feel like he almost cheated. But then again, I was thinking to myself, like, when I play Pokemon, which I've played a decent amount of Pokemon Infinite Fusion recently or lately. Not this year, I guess, but previously. And if I like Leaf 4 or something, even grinding a game for a while, you could feasibly like, just every turn hyper potion, right? Is
I've
that
seen that
cheating?
happen.
Is that cheating? Like say they have like an ice move or something and you have a fire type Pokemon. I don't know. And your Pokemon's not able to withstand more than one hit. Like every time this move hits, your Pokemon goes down to like 5% HP. So instead of, just switching a Pokemon, you just decide, well, I've got like 50 hyper potions. I'm just gonna wait out the PP, you know? Is that cheating?
Uh, Waiting out the PP might be a bit rough,
Well, what if you're
but
fighting like the last of the Leaf Four?
yeah,
Is that cheating?
I it's not really
Not cheating, right?
cheating.
It's a game
Those
mechanic.
it's just raw.
And then
It's
you
a
discover that
victory
the
ever.
second move that this boss, whatever character has, is also just as lethal, and you're like, okay, hyper potion. I have 70 left. We're using them all on this one character.
Well, you might get crit before.
Yeah, that's true, but I think I was able to do that against, but because it's like infinite fusion, everything's infinitely worse, and all the gym leaders have like fused Pokemon. I All I know is whatever thing I had was like super vulnerable to ice damage and got completely wrecked. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna buy like 150 hyper potions and we'll just sit here forever. And yeah, I waited them out. I also had to do
Huh.
it against the there's a in Infinite Fusion. You play it, by the way. I feel like when the other people we know are pretty big Pokemon fans, you'd have fun in the game. But yeah, in the game as well, Giovanni tries to capture the mythical bird, and then he fuses Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos into one three-headed monster. And that thing has an attack that so all three heads attack at once, and they're all using like 70 to 90 damage, like fire, ice, and lightning moves.
Oof.
And they attack like all their speeds are super high. They all attack at the same time. It is near impossible for a team to fight that, I feel. I was running a Nuzlocke and I literally had to buy just hyper potions and super potions and fresh waters and just heal. I healed until the Zapdos ran out of its move. I healed until Articuno ran out of its move. And I think I had like fire resistance Pokemon or whatever. So yeah. But anyway, this guy comes into the fight, and he's got like a belt of potions. Apparently, they're like a fruit set potion. Okay, but but it's sort of neat touch, Kid be a kid, I guess. He's not drinking like coffee potions or something. But he he somehow just like at some point even the guy that he's fighting takes one of his potions and drinks it. Yummy. And then somehow still loses. I I feel like it's unfair. I feel like the guy was also sort of cocky, to be fair, but like, why be cocky when you do not feel fear that this kid is gonna kill you? I guess not, probably not, because you're written to not feel that way. But like, why not just be extra vigilant? Why not just actually You're like, okay, this kid is clearly actually trying to kill me. Let's just destroy this kid. Instead, he like fires one attack and it's like, oh, that probably killed him, right? I'll wait for him to get back up before doing the next one. Like, why? It felt stupid. TLDR felt stupid. I feel like the main character has a lot of plot armor for no good reason, and his gift is sort of mediocre. Also, question for
Yeah.
you on that part. During that fight, and also during a few other fights, the main character appears to use some kind of like spirit evoking attack, right? Is that him? I think he's doing that,
You're
right?
evoking attack?
Like he like holds his hand out and like purple flame spirit things appear. He did it like twice during the fight, and both times the guy was like, "That's useless." So I don't really know what he did, but he did.
I think it's one of his like past live moves that he just kind of still knows.
Okay, cool, maybe, but like it didn't seem to do anything.
They explain it in one of the chapters. I'm trying to recall. It,
Try to
it,
look
it's
for it.
like it's supposed to like just be like it's supposed to do something really
It's supposed to do something
like
good, right?
it's supposed to like debuff your opponent, but it's so slow that it doesn't usually hit. But he's always like, I don't need it to hit. I just need it to be distracting.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember it
weird.
doing something, but he's always like, "That's okay. It gave me enough time so I can cast this attack against you."
How does that make any sense? Doesn't.
Uh, he just, I don't know.
Why would you? If it's supposed to do something good, but you can't do it, then clearly it's gonna cost a lot of mana to use, probably. If it's gonna cost a lot of mana to use, then clearly it's not gonna be something you could just expend.
The first time he did it, it like did something crazy or something. Like it like
The first time he
sapped
did
all
it,
the mana or something. And then he used it against the Tradici man again. We're all like,
yeah, he used
"Oh,
it
it
against what,
didn't
like a
hit."
wolf or something.
Something.
I
I don't
At some point I
remember.
stopped understanding which attacks were his and which were like the guys. Because the guys started using like purple stuff. You're purple.
Oh yeah, then they both use
He's
purple stuff,
purple.
and it's kind of like,
And he's also
oh.
blue, and you're also blue, then you're not doing a great job of explaining who's who. Oh yeah, here it
Yeah,
is. He's
they
got
don't.
like
He
purple
didn't
flame
like.
around his arm. Resentful
There was no
soul.
build up to when he first used the move too. He just kind of like unleashed it, and we're all like, "Oh, okay, that's something
Yeah,
he can
I'm
do,
watching him
I
do it right
guess."
now, chapter 50. He like gathers purple, dark looking mana in his right hand and he slams it on the ground. It says resentful soul. The Judici man is like, so what's that gonna do? And then it proceeded to do nothing. Oh, I may have lost Chris. Not good. Wait. Hello, are you back?
I think.
What happened?
I just my entire monitor just kind of blanked out, and then half my applications crashed and then restarted.
Ah, I noticed because Frosh disappeared. All of a sudden, I was talking to Frosh, and then Frosh blinked out of existence, and I was just talking to no one. A little scary. Yeah. So, are you back though?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I was just explaining that I had an absolutely born soul, resentful soul. The kid has a gun. I don't know how they never explained this. Kid got a gun in Korea. I'm pretty sure Korea's like a not a place where you can get guns easily. Even in a futuristic society like this, I don't imagine they would just break the rules instantly.
They did say that the government collapsed and that the hunters were the ones like, I don't know, buying everything. Still kind of whack though. They got guns lying around. But I guess there are monsters everywhere too. So
Yeah. It's one of those where like the government's weak. Blah 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 blah. The hunters
oh
or the
yeah,
players rule society. Uh
yeah, they had the goddess or something of
the goddess
Korea,
of Korea, who used to be
and
like
she
a
was in the Blue
popular
House.
actress.
Actually, yeah,
Yeah. I
now she's like the
yeah.
leader.
Then I guess she just makes a big ass barrier that sits across, I was about to say Japan. Korea. I don't like Japanese people. Oh yeah, there was the comment that you sent to me. I did find it. Was it? That's why I dislike Koreans. All they care about is kimchi. I don't remember when this was said, but it was in this one.
It was it was
It was the like
when
diplomat
the goddess
meeting,
was,
right?
yeah, when she was
Yeah,
meeting with the Tradici man.
mafia guys. Yeah,
And of course they had to take a jab at her Asianness.
yeah, and they were like, "We all know Korea's a pitiful nothing country. Shut the fuck up," and blah blah blah. It's like, does Korea just? What?
They just think the world hates them,
They're
I
not
guess.
doing that bad.
I know, right?
They're actually like they got BTS and stuff. Their industry is doing fine. If you read world news and know roughly what's going on in NK side of things, there's been some threats thrown around. So maybe, but like these this is like webcomics in the last like 3 to 5 years still spouting this stuff. Clearly, the Korean populace apparently must believe that the world actually hates them,
Maybe not
which is
hate,
wild.
but they think of the
They think
world's
the
like
world thinks they're
contempting,
weak, right?
or like they're very contemptuous toward South Korea. I just like I don't
Definitely
understand.
Japan and definitely China.
Yeah,
There's
the
a lot
other
of hate.
Asian, but there's a lot of they're like it's like Asian competition.
And then
Like they all
apparently,
like
like the
they're all
European
fierce.
countries also who show up in these are like those filthy Asian yellow
I
monkeys.
know, right?
Man, everyone's racist in this place.
I think it's like they you know how they have that like mentality like you have to appear weak, and then they're like so the other people think we're weak,
well, like the
but we have to show
underdogs,
them up.
but you're
I don't know.
sure,
Like
sure.
you know how
Uh,
they always have like those main characters like I can't reveal myself to the media yet.
I yeah,
I don't
like
know.
like
Yeah.
uh, like what was it called again? The reading the room one. It was like I purposely dressed up like a loser, so so they wouldn't bully me as hard. And I didn't actually need to wear glasses, but I did, so I could blend in and be a loser. Endured this all for one purpose to do well in a VR virtual video game?
I don't remember the
I don't remember what it's
reasoning.
called, so I yeah. We
That was
rate
the
it.
challenger, I
The
think. Yeah.
Challenger, that's it. Let's rate the thing.
All
Oh
right.
no, this thing's sort of no substance. The art. Let's talk about the art. The art's good.
Yes.
Art's good. I'm gonna give it a 10. It sounds bad, but this thing did have enough character in it, even from the start. When he's on the bridge and he's fighting the octopus, and he like charges up that massive like pillar of mana. It's actually drawn pretty cool, where it feels like he's conjuring like a mana sword. It's not just like lines. I don't know. It's got a good style. Not like horrible character and plot, I feel, but ours good. What do you like to start?
I'll give it an 8.
Fair. Right, the story. Do the thing I usually do. Chris, go first. Like the story.
Uh,
What do you think? Like the story?
Let's see. The three arcs that we kind of saw were like,
Babu arc. uh, Babu infants and Babu
uh,
preschool and like elementary. That's like all we got so far.
there's like mini stories. Like they went to like on a field trip, and then their mountain got invaded.
Yeah, bad
Uh,
things always seem to happen to this guy. Also,
they
remember
yeah
the part where he like just killed a monster ruthlessly in front of his friends, and then they were like kind of
yeah
scared. It was like, oh, I probably should have done that. Weird. I'll reflect on that next time. And then went on to like slaughter like another 30, 40 monsters on his own.
yeah. I guess it was trying to foreshadow some sort of like
Well,
berserkerness
apparently like
nonsense.
well, I think also he felt maybe responsible because I think he thought like I changed the future. This wasn't supposed to happen so early, I think he said. And then he went on to like fight it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got
Oh, I thought that was at
responsibilities.
the mall though.
Everything. Everything accelerated.
Yeah.
Like he didn't
Mm.
expect the blonde lady, what her name, Quilletta or something, to be kidnapped so soon. He didn't expect like certain
I don't
things
think
to.
he knew that lady that early.
Oh, actually, no. Yeah, he didn't know. Well, he didn't. Wait, I thought he didn't expect, or he didn't remember. I think that like the Tradici people were gonna meet with the goddess, something like that.
Yeah, or something
Because
probably.
in his
Yeah.
past life, Bruno didn't exist because he died. Yeah.
I, he met them through that one girl with the extremely high potential who should have died as an elementary school girl.
Oh yeah,
Like,
the
really
potion master's daughter. Because in his past life, the potion
yeah,
master did not have a child.
that lived past the goblin incident. Yeah,
Yep. He saved some people that day, and changed the
and he
world.
met. uh,
Butterfly effect. Haha. No.
The story, it's like kind of generic. It's uh,
See if it got more.
uh,
Uh.
I there
Oh
are some
yeah.
things I
Oh yeah.
really
Did you like the
didn't like.
fly thing? The mosquito bit
Mosquito bit?
after 63 and onwards. That's some JJK shit. The story with like the Sailor Man turning into the mosquito monster, and then he goes on to like infect children, and then like main character actually has to kill a child. I was like, damn, isn't this like idol transfiguration from JJK? What like Mahito does or whatever?
I don't
You don't.
remember.
Okay. It's
Ugh.
more recent-ish, like probably about like 5 chapters away from end of the current chapters we have. Um, a man gets attacked by a monster resembling a mosquito. Mosquito leaves like a mark on the man, which causes his mana to like circulate wrong. The man turns into a mosquito as well, so it's sort of like a virus. Um,
Uh,
and then there's like some random orphan kid that he sort of helped ish, not really. He literally had like one interaction, and then like he finds the kid lying in like a warehouse, like about to die and transform, and kid was like, "Help me, Angel Young," or whatever. And character's like, "Say your last prayers" or something.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's sort of cool. It's sort of forced on us. I don't want to care about this kid, but you really made me forcibly care about this kid. Yes, I will." It's fine. All's well that ends well. MC just slaughters them all. be the story score though.
Oh, I'll give it a 5.
5. Nice middle of the road. Try to see. I had some other notes. Oh, uh, oh yeah. Um, Here's a question for you, Chris. In the early chapters, they talk about how demi-humans are apparently a byproduct of poorly circulated mana or something.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that's BS. Absolute BS. What? How would that contribute to clearly feline ears and tail? Just wanted to draw furries, and that's fine. But you didn't have to do such a bad way of explaining it. They're fine. Demi-humans exist, but you don't have to explain it like you could have just said, some humans got interested in some monsters, and maybe the monsters were humanoid enough. I don't know. Uh, no, instead the explanation that this web comic does is it says like poorly distributed mana while giving birth leads to a child with defects. And then apparently they just grow very animal ears and tail.
I've never had a comic or manhwa explain why demi-humans exist.
Correct. You
So
could
I
just
kind
say
of
that they came out of the portals or the dungeons or, you know,
like
they
I feel like
appeared. Like,
I don't know. One of the things I'm a little bit like I've learned to just brush past on when I'm reading these manhwas is like
no,
they have to
incorrect.
explain everything.
No,
They
I
just have
disagree.
to.
This has to make sense. I wrote,
Oh,
I once wrote a light novel way back when. Even within my universe that I created back then, that was, there was a mana system. There were abilities that attributes with like elemental affinity, and
yeah, yeah.
kids who were born without affinity did exist, and it was just they were born with lacking. Maybe they had like a really big mana pool, but no abilities to like manifest with, or they just had a really small mana pool and affinity for like multiple things. I don't know. It's like something like that where it sort of makes sense. Poorly distributed mana does not result in you having a furry child like that. It was a bad explanation. I feel like that's like you didn't have to explain it this way. You could have just said the demi-humans appeared one day and people had kids with them. And that's why they're like frowned upon because yeah, they look like monsters because they are monsters. If this is like a defect thing, yeah, sure, but people do exist in the world with like already birth defects. You didn't have to say it like, oh, now because of the mana in their systems, they just all become demi-humans. Weird way to explain it. Also, apparently, I noted down that chapter 28, main character contributes to food waste by stabbing the cake and throwing it. Um, Chapter 30, what a twist. The man completely changed his hairstyles without gel and also just with glasses. This is when main character's dad reveals himself as like the major section chief of like Korea's second best corporation or something.
Yeah. So the entire time he was living with his dad, he
It was
didn't
like
know what his
apparently a
dad's
Giga
job
Chad.
was.
He never once, even in his regression, I guess because in his regression his dad died so early that he just
Yeah, like
never
he
realized
was
what he
6
did for
when
a
it
living.
first happened, but like I feel like once he reincarnated or not
He should have
regressed,
been a
he
bit
should have
snoopier, right? Should have
or I
like
mean he could have like just does his parents not talk about their work at the dinner table? Like come on. You didn't, like I don't know, pick something up?
I'm just surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised they never have like bring your child to work day. That a US thing only? Like what?
Maybe
Maybe maybe the Korean work
I
culture is
like
so shit that he just knew his
I've
dad is like coming home late. Literally his dad's around a lot. So I disagree.
Uh, you should have just.
Surely.
I feel like he totally could have just found out just by like listening to his parents talk just every now and then.
Now, part of me wonders if he actually gave a shit about his family, though. He like sort
Apparently,
of
he
cares,
really. Mm,
but it it's like uh, it's behind his like desire to like make sure the world's better. Yeah, like, yeah, he talks about like, oh, my goal is just to live as a kid this time and be happy, and then he continues to do things that makes him not a kid at all. I,
yeah.
anyway, that's the character writing. The story rating still shit. A 4. No, fuck that. A 3. And I don't like it. By the way, we were supposed to record on a different day. I asked for more time because I didn't feel like I read enough chapters. I regret asking for more time. I should have just reviewed it with less chapters read. It was a waste of 2 days.
Ugh.
Character score though. So I don't like the main character. You can tell. Why don't I like the main character? Well, he's sort of busted for no good reason. He also won the fight during chapter 50 with using hold on, he used poison rank 6 poison from a shadow spider. How the heck did you do that? And how did you also do so in a world where people know about this stuff? You're telling me Tradici Man has never encountered this poison and wouldn't just carry antidotes with him?
I mean, there's probably a lot of poison out there. Like you probably could have hit him with the Manowar poison that like exists right now, and that would also kill. Ugh,
Yeah,
but
but also like he didn't win until he used the mana potion or the spider
yeah,
poison. He could have used this
yeah,
poison any time,
you should have just hit him with it first. Honestly, it
right? He
would have
should just
saved us a lot of
splashed it in his
panels.
face, and then it would have also worked. Like he could have thrown the sword coated with poison and sliced off his arm and treated it that way. I don't know. Let's complain. Also, he yeah, so cleverly also had the antidote. I would have panicked. Not gonna lie, if I was doing such a big scale fight, I would have panicked and drank the poison long ago. I would have been like, all right, next potion, green one, weird. Okay, yeah, I'll drink it. Ooh, what a watermelon flavor, you know? Wouldn't have thought to pay attention to which one's the antidote and which one's the poison and which one's the potion. Uh, yeah, I'm a Tradici. Don't you know if you kill me, it'll become a global issue. Tradici. Whatever.
I'm wondering if it's like the
They're like
the.
Italian, right?
I wonder if it's his family's name, or
No,
I know
they're the
like
Macrons.
the
Whatever.
yeah the like the mob is called the Macrons, but like I wonder if the Tradici is like his last name, and like
Oh, like
actually
their
I don't
family
know.
within? No, shouldn't he be the Macron?
Oh yeah, I think they're all the Macron. Yeah, they're probably
Okay, I
all.
looked up Tradici in Italian. It means 13. What does that mean?
Like I don't
Tradici.
know. No. Are they like the top 13
Top 13
like
Mafia?
or like players? Kind of
Like
like how Korea has like the
numbers,
12 thrones. I wonder if they
right?
have like the 13 strong people. I don't know.
13 is Mafia people.
I don't know if they have to all be mafia, but like they've got
In the same
he's
chapter, it's
part of
like
like
to
the
think
top
Italy's
13.
Tradici was killed by a child. What does to think Italy's Tradici mean? I
I feel like the Tradici might be like analogous to the 12 thrones, but for Italy.
probably. Also, I'm now reading the comments. Uh, one of the comments says he could have ended the fight by using the gun when the dude was pissing. He could have. He absolutely could have. He
Oh,
just used the poison, coat it with the bullet, shoot him while he's pissing. I'd be dead on the floor.
He's so hardcore, but he makes all these mistakes. I don't know.
Anyway, don't like the main
Whack.
character. Do I like any of the other characters, you might wonder? The answer is not really. Um, he makes friends with them, and it's, cool to have their friendship, but ultimately, they're just sort of like chess pieces, arguably. Um, yeah, he picked up sort of a natural friendship with the captain guy who calls him captain, and I guess his sister's talented. That's cool, but everything's too convenient. I've yeah, I things are going bad in his second life, yes, but like they're going good for him, and they continue to go super good for him, which doesn't. I'm not saying he should like deserve to have tragedy again, but it doesn't feel like he deserves it. So on that basis, we're giving the characters a 3. Yep, like 'em. Sounds bad. A 4. We're upping the score this time because the designs for the abilities are sort of cool. Sort of cool. Not that cool. They're
Oh, I'll give him a 6.
like this thing. Oh,
I
it
feel like
has
it should have.
the windows, right? Did
I
it
don't
not?
think it did, but
It had like
considering
informational text windows for us, but like, no, they just use their mana.
yeah,
They use their mana and they shuttered out their attacks, but they didn't like actively have skill windows.
they also talk in gamer speak, and everyone's called a player.
Yeah, well, they're players, so do we grant it amnesty for that?
Are they players? I still don't understand.
Players,
They're players. What are they playing? Oh, frick.
life, life. Final score is a 6 out of 10. Still somehow higher than the last thing we.
Is it actually? What was the last time we read?
I don't.
Oh, God Knight. Is it actually higher?
I think we gave Godnet like a 5.3. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, damn.
Remember, yeah. It was God Night last.
Wait, I don't know. Now I'm confused. Or I'm like, am I just,
I don't remember what read.
I'll be taking a break for personal reasons.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, that one was trash. Absolute trash. Gutter. And we still gave it a 5.3. So you can tell that, the art score really carries things good, huh?
I remember
Good.
I really liked the art for I'll be taking a break.
Well, it's your turn to pick. What are we sent? Where are we going? What are we doing?
Let's see. I think we should.
Uh,
What is this? I just read something that sounded like 5 other manhwas I've read, and I was
oh,
like, "What the
perfect.
frick?"
We can have a nice melody. Medley. So,
Ah,
God, we read.
or I think we should read "The Heavenly Demon Can't Live a Normal Life," but the one I saw was, "I became a renowned family sword prodigy." And I was like, "Sword prodigy, renowned family." Ugh. I was like, "Have I read this, or did I just
Oh,
read something that
well,
had the same title?"
you know what? Cool. I am willing to take that. Finally, good fuck. I like this one. It's the Heavenly Demon Can't Live a Normal Life. That one's good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One of the in the synopsis, the last line is "OP Heavenly Demon Fantasy."
Yeah, he is OP. He literally was the heavenly demon from like Burim world, and he regresses or he reincarnates into the body of like a Western knight. Yeah, he's gonna OP. He's gonna be OP. Absolutely. Their like abilities are not even as good.
Ugh.
That's a good one. Have fun with it. Good. Anyway, that's about it. If you followed us this far, you want to see more, leave a comment down below. Maybe we'll review something. I saw a comment from a month ago because I don't really check the channel for comments saying dice.
Oh my
The comment specifically
god.
said I think dice was mentioned, which I don't know meant if they wanted us to review dice or if they just understand that dice was mentioned. I know we've been asking for people to give us recommendations. It sounded like they wanted us to review dice.
Oh. Oh, jeez.
Would you rather review dice or the Lone Spellcaster?
The lone, definitely the lone spellcaster. Dice is like 800. No, wait. It's like, oh,
uh
how long is Dice? I Oh, there's only 17 chapters on Webtoons.
oh,
Frick.
because it's completed. Gotta look for like dice on dice webtoon feed. Oh my gosh. 337 338 chapters. No,
That's not
388
even.
chapters.
There's
Whoops.
no way. I remember when I like looked back on it, the thinking I'll pick it up again. It was at like 500, and then I was like, well, what if I didn't? And then I looked at it again, like when we one day when we were just talking about it, and like it was like a year later and it had more chapters. And I was like, well, now I'm definitely not
Well, apparently
reading.
dice chapter 388 does say it's the afterword.
Actually,
387 says it's the finale.
oh, but isn't the finale like the longest arc?
Yeah, it's the battle royale, which takes like 200 chapters to resolve. It felt like. Eh,
Or I when I saw that it was 500 chapters, I gave up on it. I was like, this is we're done.
damn, just like how you gave up on Lookism, huh?
Yep, exactly.
Wow. One of these days we'll tackle these giants. Till then, it was a subscribe thing on YouTube. It didn't cost money. You just gotta click on the funny thing, and then every so often, every week or so, generally around Tuesdays. Currently I've got the upload schedule set to be Tuesday at 6 p.m. I think, East EST, or so you will find a new video. Yeah. The next time for the Heavenly Demon Can't Live a Normal Life, which would be better than what we saw this time. Final words? Take that as a no.
Uh,
Oh,
no, no.
okay. See ya.